This video is powered by Lumo. So, let's imagine this right here. You have a 12-year-old kid, and he's sitting on the couch glued to his phone. Let's call him Little Tommy. You think he's watching Minecraft videos, but in reality, Tommy's curiosity just got the better of him. He typed in a web address he heard about from his older friends at school, and now he's looking straight at Pornhub. How did he get past the age barrier, you might ask? I mean, he's only 12 years old. Well, he clicked on this tiny little checkbox right here, which says, I'm 18 or older. And bam, he's in. It's pretty crazy, right? But across Germany and most of Europe, that is exactly how the internet works right now. The biggest adult websites on the planet rely on a pinky square checkbox. Now, in some cases, the current laws do try to be a little stricter. If little Tommy wants to gamble, for example, buy a rated 18 video game, or log on to some restricted media sites in Germany, a pop-up does demand he enters a physical passport or ID card serial number. But really, let's be honest here too, because that's also kind of broken. Little Tommy just goes over and grabs his sleeping parents' ID card right off the counter, types in the numbers, and bam, bypasses the entire system. And for the parents and other adults, the current system is also a bit of a data privacy nightmare, because you're handing over your passport details to pretty much random private websites. And if you're hacked, you're kind of But this might all change because the European Commission is rolling out a new EU age verification app with member states' adoption expected by the end of this year. And it does sound kind of cool, right? But how will this actually work in practice? Well, it comes down to two very simple steps for you, the user. Step 1. You download the official secure app on your phone. It's completely free and fully open source. Step 2. You register your ID. So basically, what you do is hold your physical ID card or passport right up against your phone, and your phone reaches a secure official chip inside of it. And to lock it down, the app binds that data to your personal smartphone biometrics. You know, your Face ID, or, well, your fingerprint. And that's pretty much it. You do it once and you never have to pull out your physical ID card again. So what does that mean for little Tommy? Well, the next time he tries to access Pornhub on his phone, there's no checkbox anymore. The website can directly trigger the EU age verification app through the phone's operating system, similar to how banking apps or sign in with Google already work today. His phone screen simply lights up and asks him, approve age verification now. And Tommy holds his phone to his 12-year-old face. And Face ID confirms that he's the owner of the phone. And the app then checks the verified age linked to his digital ID. And the results come back instantly. Access denied. Because, well, yeah, the system knows. No, he's not 18. And here's the best part for your privacy. The app uses something called zero-knowledge proof. And the idea is very simple. The app can prove you're over 18 without revealing who you really are. So instead of sending over your full identity to a website, it only sends a secure digital confirmation saying yes, over 18. That means that website will never learn your name, birthday, or passport details. They get the proof, but zero data. And proponents say it gets even better. The EU isn't planning to build a massive centralized database to watch everyone. Instead, they want to push all that trust directly onto your personal device. Your phone holds the secret that generates the proof because there's no central server logging your activity. Neither website nor government can track who and what you are looking at. So yeah, at first glance, this seems like a super big win for user privacy. But honestly, random online websites aren't the only ones snooping on your data. Every time you brainstorm or ask a standard big tech AI for help with your work, they track you. They log your prompts, build a profile on your ideas, and use your thoughts to train their AI models. I mean, in 5 years, they'll probably have a complete behavioral blueprint on you. And if they get hacked, your data is very much out there. So, if you want the power of AI, but don't want them looking over your shoulder, do check out today's sponsor, Lumo. Lumo is a privacy-first AI assistant built right here in Europe by Proton, the same amazing team behind Proton Mail and Proton VPN. Unlike ChatGPT, though, Lumo has a very strict no-logs policy and zero-access encryption. Your chats are encrypted before they even hit the server. Proton literally cannot read your questions, meaning your data never trains the AI and your ideas stay 100% yours. We've actually started using it here in our very own team to bounce script ideas around securely. So do yourself a favor, stop letting hard work train someone else's model and help us support real European companies over all of this USA tech dross. You can test it on web, iOS, or Android right now. No account required. Go through our link and try out Lumo for free or get a special discount on their paid plan. Back to the video. Now, while blocking Tommy from accessing adult websites is a pretty big win on its own, there's also a bit of a catch here. Because in all honesty, to actually make this app work, the system needs to know more than just your age. A simple yes or no proof only works if the website can trust exactly where you are logging in from. And that is why the EU officials are now actually eyeing VPNs. Literally the number one tool people use today to stay anonymous and hide their location online. When asked at a major press conference how to stop kids from just using a VPN to bypass the app, the EU's tech commissioner, Henna Virkkunen, admitted that stopping people from getting around the rules is an important part of the next steps. And also, behind the scenes, the European Parliament's research team even called VPNs a loophole that need to be closed. And this is the very great irony. To make a privacy-checking age check work, the government has to dismantle the other privacy tools you use every day. This is exactly where opponents point to a dangerous slippery slope. For example, if the state can block you from adult sites today, what stops them from blocking a political forum, for example, an alternative news site, or a whistleblower platform tomorrow? And that is kind of already happening, because a further core purpose of the age verification app is to constrain children's access to social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and protect them from harmful algorithms. Critics argue here that it's not just about one other app either. And that is already happening, because a further core purpose of the age verification app is to constrain children's access to social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and protect them from harmful algorithms. Critics also argue that it's not just about this one app either. They say that all of this is part of a worrying trend all across Europe. For example, chat control, repeated EU attempts since 2022 to mandate the scanning of private messages, including your encrypted ones. And countries all across Europe, including Austria, Germany, France, the Netherlands, and Switzerland, have granted authorities various forms of lawful hacking or government spyware powers. Each of these laws is then sold separately, but they do all share more or less the same goal, critics argue, that more tracking, scanning, and less anonymity is available for individuals across Europe. And lastly, most of these government apps literally only work on American phone software. You know, Android, iOS, without EU alternatives. And that does kind of go against the whole EU sovereignty trend. So, that is an overview of some of the benefits and some of the drawbacks. But this age verification app actually is just the very tip of the iceberg. It's part of something much, much bigger that the EU is currently looking at. Because the EU is rolling out a massive project called the European Digital Identity Wallet. And all 27 member states have a deadline to make this available to their citizens by the end of 2026. Think of it as a supercharged government-backed app on your phone that holds your entire bureaucratic life. We're talking about your official national ID, your driver's license, your university diplomas, and your professional qualifications, all packed securely into one place. And it will be legally recognized across the entire European Union. So, for example, imagine you live in Germany and book a flight to, let's say, Italy. Right now, you have to manually type in your passport details into an airline website. With a wallet, though, you just click on one button and your verified information is securely filled in it automatically. And then at the airport, your phone can act as your boarding pass and increasingly also as your passport. And when you then land in Rome and rent a car, you don't hand over your physical driver's license anymore either. You simply tap your phone and the wallet securely proves your identity and driving entitlement, and you get the keys within seconds. A pretty big improvement in quality of life, if you ask me. Anyway, this is what I personally think. I love the wallet because I really like everything that makes my life so much easier. And the idea that I can just, securely store my data on my phone and quickly use it whenever is necessary is genuinely awesome. I mean, the amount of times I've forgotten my ID to the airport or to the train station is, it's kind of embarrassing. But it does absolutely need to stay optional. Where I do have a little bit more concern is this whole age verification app. The app itself, at least from a technical side, is really not the problem. The bigger issue is the kind of policies that the government could make around this app. Because once the government starts building these systems, you can easily imagine things like restrictions on VPNs, as we explained before, and also other privacy tools being introduced alongside them. And by using the age verification app on children accessing social media at 14, we're kind of just delaying the problem here. Instead of properly policing social media platforms like X or TikTok, we're just pushing the problem further down the line. And I really think one of our subscribers made a comparison that I think explains this perfectly. He said, it's like having a giant snake pit, and instead of removing the snakes, society just says, hey, Tommy, you can only jump into it once you're 18. And honestly, I think that kind of sums it up pretty well. Anyway, though, what do you think? Should we have a version of the age verification app? Really do let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear what you think, as I am honestly very unsure of what version we should bring to the market. Thank you so much for watching. And if you do want to support us further, please do sign up to Patreon. And as always, a special shout out to our presidents who make all of this possible. Your support is great. See you in the next video.